Doing qualitative research, your objective in a qualitative research is to dig deep into a phenomenon. So you're gonna say, so how is it different from phenomenology? A whole lot different. So with phenomenology, what you're doing is you're looking at a particular phenomenon and understanding why is this phenomenon happening. So you're more on bordering on the philosophical side of things. What caused the phenomenon to happen? But with qualitative research, you are investigating. You're investigating not just why the phenomenon is happening, but why are the actors participating in the phenomenon. So it's a whole lot of a shift. So yung isa, phenomenon lang yung focus mo, the entire process, why is it happening. Doon sa qualitative, you're looking into the actors, the factors, and a whole lot more. Sorry, mali ako doon. Hindi factors. Context. Factors kasi na-measure yun eh. You use that in quantitative. For qualitative, we call it context. Alright? Naks, magyayabang na kayo sa inuman mamayang gabi. Alam mo, yung mga context. Sa qualitative, ang masaya dito, you're like a wordsmith. I don't know if you've heard that term, wordsmith. Panday ng lengguwahe. You create words, you fuse words, you make words more than they are. Hence, when you say that in qualitative research, you are trying to look into context, people are saying, what do you mean? The reasons? Not just the reasons behind the reasons. Why do people rationalize the way that they do? Alright, so we have various ways of doing it. We have ethnographic, we have participant observation, we have multiple ways of doing qualitative research. I have to make sure that we understand that qualitative research is different from qualitative research design is different from method. Yes, we're good with that? So, when you say participant observation, that's not a design. That's a method, right? When you say qualitative research design, then you're talking about a design, meaning the methods you're gonna use, the analysis you're gonna use, are all within the qualitative realm. So, hindi ka pwedeng qualitative research design, tapos biglang ang data mo, numbers. Tapos, inanalyze mo SPSS. Pero qualitative kami dahil nag-interview ako. What? Pwede din naman, pero ang tawag na po natin doon ay mixed method na. Mixed method, now I need to follow the PowerPoint. Kasi ngayon mag-rumble na ako, bigla na mixed method. But we also have what you call as mixed method, and we have mixed sequential method. Sorry, but that should have come right here. Yeah. So qualitative, quantitative, grounded theory, then you have the mixed method, and then you have the mixed sequential method. Ano difference ng mixed method sa mixed sequential method? Mixed method meaning simultaneously nag-quali-quanti ka, sabay yun. Nag-survey, interview ka, sabay. Pero hindi ko alam paano magagawin, pero sabay. Usually nangyayari yun sa mga projects kasi marami kang tao, right? May enumerators ka, may magkukwali ka, sabay. How about mixed sequential method? Mixed sequential method means that sequential, one happens after the other. And one is dependent on the other. So, let's say that you did a survey. And after the survey, what do? You say, okay, this is what we found in the survey. And these are the most interesting parts of the survey. Let's ask people if this is true. And so you go to the mixed method. The qualitative method. No, pag quali, nag-interview ka na, nag-focus group discussion ka na, nag-whatever ka na, So, your questions here are literally based from the survey. May sequence, right? Kaya siya mixed sequential method. We're not gonna go into that more, but my focus right now is in quali and grounded. Just raise your hand if I'm not making sense. I usually don't make sense. Because I'm a compulsive thinker. So, qualitative research process, what you do here, this is very important as a diagram because it will let you see how different qualitative research is from ethnography, as the basic quality from ethnography, and from grounded theory. Here, qualitative research process, what do you start with? You start with a problem. It's so similar with quantitative, right? Start with a problem, you'll do the review of related literature and studies, and then after that you say, all right, after I've reviewed all this, this is my theoretical framework, this is my conceptual framework, right? And then you move to the data. So you collect the data, right? After you collect the data, you're going to code. Code is an analytical process. And then you're going to thematize, all right? What is thematizing? So SPSS or quantitative, yung code, yun yung ano yun? Pag-input ng data, right? Nilagay mo lang, 6, 1, 2, 3, whatever. Yun yung ginagawa nyo, right? Pag quantitative. How about theme? That's when you run your SPSS in quantitative. Sa qualitative, that's when you try to find the words, how they connect with one another. And we're gonna do max QDA on the 3rd day so that you get to feel how it works. So, coding and theme. And then after that, you go for your interpretation. See, interpretation comes in the 3rd part. This is your classic, this is your staple process in research, the same with quantitative, right? So, interpretation, you have local. With interpretation, you can finally find the local concept, okay? You have to understand you cannot generalize in qualitative research, ever. Ever. You cannot say, okay, I've studied urban poor Filipinos. Sa Baseco lang po ako nag-aral. Baseco is my field site. It's in Manila. So, I cannot say, oh, I know all urban poor because, I studied Baseco. I can't do that. Because my findings are only true for a particular society for a particular time. It can't be replicated in the sense that I would say, so since it's happening in Baseco, therefore it must happen in Payatas, or they have different ideas, they have different experiences on tuberculosis. The same disease, the same context of urban poverty, different experiences. So you can never generalize. Hence, localization of concept is the end product of a qualitative research. And then you have the international implication. So this is what is happening in this local site. How does that relate to this international issue? It's important to do that. Why? You don't do the international issue thing, you don't get published. Cute na sana na maghinto tayo doon, di ba? Sa local concept. Yeah, na-found out ka na. Ito na yung local concept. And then you say, please publish my work. No one wants to publish it. Why? Wala yung international hit. And in today's academic world, publication world, there's always the need for that international hit. Kasi nga, globalized na tayo, right? So it's important for us to have that. So anyway, that's the qualitative research process. Let's look into some data gathering techniques. Totoo ba na nakikipag-chismisan lang kami sa field? That's what I have been accused so many times. Like, do you really do field work? Ano field work pinagsasabi niyo? Do you even do surveys? To tell you the truth, I think, because I've experienced both, I have done mixed method for my master's degree. I did survey at the same time. I've done interviews and ethnography, all simultaneously. I think doing qualitative is far more difficult than quantitative. I'm not demeaning quantitative at all. Alam ko mahirap din ang quantitative, but the difficult part of qualitative is that of affective issues. What do I mean by affective issues? Affective issues meaning, this is my former research assistant. We were studying hunger. Food security, literally the concept of not just hunger but kalam. So apparently hunger, gutom, is different from kalam. Kalam is the extreme version of gutom. So when we were studying this, it was so difficult for them to do this study, primarily because people cry when they do this. In surveys, you rarely get a person crying like, why? You go, in a survey, you go to the field, you say, ma'am, kami po ay taga-NSO, or whatever group you're from. May mga konting katanungan lang po tayo, pwede po ba, ma'am, ilan taon? 35, alin po dito ang mga nararamdaman nyo? A, B, C, D, o A. Walang panahon para magsabi, ano ba pakiramdam ko ngayon? And that's the more difficult part of this research. Because, for example, this Lola, cares for, ilan anak apo ni Lola? 4, 5. Nasa ganung digits. 4 or 5. She doesn't have, siya yung nagbabalat sa tabi nila Ate Marta. Sa may balon. Sila rin po ay nag-work sa Baseco, that's why we can relate. Si Lola ay nag-aalaga ng 4 na apo, and then wala na siya yung anak niya, lumayas yung anak niya kung saan man, iniwan yung mga anak. And si Lola ay walang pinag-aralan. In short, no opportunities. And what she does is peel this garlic for 70 pesos per sack. Per sack. So 70 pesos per sack. So yan yung level ng coffee nyo lang from Starbucks. Ay, hindi ko alam kung kano ng Starbucks. Basta mas mahal ng Starbucks. So, babalatan niya yan mag-isa. Kasi siya lang may adult. Babalatan niya yan, sunog yung mga kamay niya by the end of it because of the acid. And 70 pesos. She needs to earn that money to feed her grandkids. 70 pesos. So when you ask her, ano po ang pangamba ninyo? That's the most difficult question we had to ask for this research. Ano po ang pangamba nyo? All of these people, because this is a study on old people, older adults. Yan yung kapapublish ng mga libro. Iiyak na sila. Sabihin nila, nangangamba ako para sa apo ko. And these old people, kahit mataba si Lola, ang kinakain yan, pag gutom na siya at wala na silang makain, hot water. Hot water, and then the kids can eat something else. Like noodles na isang peraso na pinaghati-hati sa 4 na bata. So, you cannot just say, so, tapos na lahat ng 10 questions mo, sabi mo, okay, Nay, salamat po sa kwentuhan, alis na po ako. No, you can't. Kasi iyak mo na siya, mag-hug muna kayo, magsabi ka, okay lang po yan, nagiging counselor ka pa konti. Tapos, ito si Nadine, pag umaalis siya dyan sa field, ano yan, warak siya, no? Para siyang natabunan ng kalungkutan, sabi niya, grabe ma'am, nakipag-iyakan. Kasi minsan, isang oras na, tagal kasi sinusupervise ko na nasa labas ako. Tagal, isang oras na, balik ako. Isang oras na wala pa. Tapos sabi ko paglabas niya, after 1 hour, anong nangyari? Ba't isang oras ang isang tao? Ma'am, kasi nag-iyakan po kami. Sabi ko, bakit kayo nakikipag-iyakan? Ma'am, kasi umiyak na si nanay, naiiyak na rin kami. And, so, papagalitan ko ba siya? Hindi. Because I've gone through that process as well. And that's why, in a paper that I'm trying to write recently, I'm looking into the mental health of researchers, qualitative researchers. Why? We also suffer from associated empathy, especially for those of us working with PHIV, substance abusers, and that. We empathize with them, we feel their pain, and with that, we go home with their pain, and we get emotional fatigue with that. So, anyway, what do you do in data gathering and qualitative? You have key informant interview. How does this work? First, your major tool, a recording device. You cannot not have a recording device, rather. Why? Ang bilis magsalita ng mga tao. And do not ever trust your feelings. Sabi mo, hindi, kaya ko naman, magaling ako mag-memorize. No. Your brain will only remember what you felt during the talk. What if what you felt was not the most important part for her? Yun nga lang yun yung nag-strike sa'yo. Kasi may naalala ko, ako din dati. It became a problematic process already. So, recording device. But what if they don't want to be recorded? Ayan, may ganyan kami experience recently. Sabi ko, nag-interview kami ng mga magbabalot sa Baguio. They don't want to be interviewed. Ayaw talaga nila. Like, fulan nila, tapon nila kami. So sabi ko, ganito, wag na mag-record. Maghingi na lang ng consent na mag-interview tayo. Tapos, magtanong na lang. Diretsong tanungan. Tanong kami. So, saan pa nanggagaling? Lahat na tinanong na namin. Okay po. Sir, salamat po. Whatever tapos. Immediately, nakalakad lang kami ng ilang steps. Sabi ko, Tisha, mag-record ka na. Sabihin mo na lahat ng sinabi niya. Tinanong ko si Kuya, nire-record niya sarili niya. Why? This is our modern version of field notes. Nung wala pang ganitong uso sa mundo, nung ang mga tao ay, ikaw mga sinaunang anthropologists, may mga malalaki lang sila notebook kung sila maghapon, magsusulat. Ang feeling ko, nakita ko, ganyan, ito ang naamoy ko. that's cool. But since we have technology already, you can take advantage of technology. So, habang kami naglalakad sa palengke, kasama namin anak ko, si Edlin, record na siya. Ang balot daw dito ay ganito lang kinikita niya. Sabi ko, may nakalimutan ka pa. So, buo kami as a group. Kung bawal mag-interview na may recording, try to bring in another person so that that person can fill in the gaps of your own memory. So, at least in that context, nabuo namin yung kwento ni Kuya. Nabigay namin yung mga highlight ng mga sinasabi niya. At nag-agree kami na, oo nga, yun ang sinabi niya. So, buti na tatlo kami doon. So, recording device, interview guide. Paano kaya gumagawa ng key informant interview? Dapat ba, parang, good morning po, ako po si Karine, may tanong po ako. Kailan niyo po nasabi na kayo po ay, the most important thing in interviews is rapport. We build rapport more than anything. In-abuse namin lahat ng sikat na mga whatever sa TV nung panahon na nag-interview kami. At the time na uso ang Aldab, si Aldab ang bit-bit namin sa field. Sa field. So pag naglalabas na kami, nanood na po ba kayo ng Aldab? Nanood na kami, okay. Pag-chismisa muna namin si Aldab ng mga 15 minutes, tapos saka kami mag-research. Rapport is important because people are affective individuals. They tell you their story once they feel that they trust you, once they feel comfortable with you. So, do you read from your notes? No. Like verbatim? No. You bring your notes, sure, so that you don't forget your line. But you don't read from them. You just bring it and like glance over it. So that's the reason why what I usually do is that I have a very comprehensive interview guide. I chop it into concepts. So that when I'm in the field, let's see, ask feelings on food. Easy. Or feelings on food. Yun lang. Sulat ko, feelings on food. Sabi ko, so ano po yung pakiramdam nyo tungkol sa recycled food na pagpag? Siyempre hindi ko sabi recycled food. Sabi ko lang, ano po feeling nyo sa pagpag? Yung pagpag, ganyan. Did I read it? How do you feel about? No, hindi. You just you have to memorize your instrument. That's why it's hard to do qualitative research.
Sige, 45 minutes.
Okay. And then, so you have a notepad and definitely a free prior informed consent. All right. The free prior informed consent, we're gonna discuss that on day 3 on ethics. You need to have your ethics protocol with you. However you hate to read that to the person, you have to, especially today that we have Data Privacy Act, you're gonna go to jail. So please try to make sure that you've read that, you have your informant sign it, or mark, or verbally agreed to it na naka-record para ma-transcribe mo. Right. Okay, ang intense, no? Mas madaling kwento na lang yung quantity kasi sabihin ko sa inyo, gumawa tayo ng instrument, pero hindi naman ganun kadali kasi syempre may validation din yun, mga ganun. Pero kasi dito emotional yung mabigat, right? More than just intellectual, there's the emotional component to it. So the data gathering technique, selection of informants. Ilan ba talaga dapat ang kausap natin dito? Which is the next question. How many people do we talk to in a... Sorry, I don't know if it's already my time. Yung regular interview ninyo, na sinatawag nyo, that is when you go to the field, you ask people, kamusta naman dito sa Basay ko? Kamusta sa Basay ko? You just ask them. They're not necessarily the experts on those fields, but you just ask them because they're from there. Key informant is different because they're the experts on that topic. So if you're looking into substance abuse, then definitely you have to talk to people who are substance abusers, right? If you're researching on PLHIV, you can't just do any context in PLHIV. You have to talk to people living with HIV and be more specific. Which of this group are you wanting to talk to? Interviews. And what do you look into? Life narratives. Okay, you're looking into life narratives. How did they get into that position? What made them get to that position? How about what kind of data do we get from a key informant interview? The type of data we get will be full transcripts. There's also the summarized interview transcripts. This is more important when you're trying to code your data already. So you have this transcript, and sometimes you want to summarize it already from what you understood, and it could help you a lot in going back to the transcripts. Now let's go to participant observation, my ultimate favorite type of method. We're still in qualitative research, all right? It's just belaboring because we're introducing these concepts. Once we go to ethnography, you'll see them again, but we're not going to go to the details anymore. So with participant observation, this is the classic anthropological way of doing field, which is go to the field, be one with the local, experience their life. Because the idea is that it's by experiencing their life that you get to understand why this is even happening. And after some time, participant observation became a tool in sociology. It became a tool even in political science. They tried to infuse it in all other disciplines in social sciences already. Participant observation means that you stay in the field for a long period of time. There are still questions about how long do you stay in the field? Does it take months? How is that different from ethnography? So with ethnography, ethnography takes at least a year if you're going to do a decent ethnography. Anthropologists are still arguing about how long an ethnography should be. Some are saying just a few weeks could do. We call it the rapid ethnography. A lot of anthropologists who say who hear rapid ethnography would raise an eyebrow too and say, "What do you mean rapid ethnography? There is no such thing." Because these are the classic ethnographers as well. But there's a 6 months, a minimum of 6 months for an acceptable ethnography. The longest time I've been in the field is now 6 years. I've been working in Baseco now for 6 years. But I've not been living in Baseco every day. The longest, if you put all the days that I've lived in Baseco, like slept, did I sleep in Baseco with you guys now? You're not, this is the group that I did not get to sleep in Baseco with. But if you put all the days that I've spent in Baseco, it's gonna be probably just a matter of maximum of 7 months. That's how long. But in terms of intermittent being there, it's already about 6 years now. Now, some anthropologists stay in the field literally for a year. Observation, recording device is important. Both the audio and visual type of recording. Because there are times that you need to document cultural activities. I've documented how to collect pagpag because that's my research. So I went with my key informant to the field. We collected Jollibee Chicken Joy along Manila Hotel. So I have a video of that, which I don't show people because number one, it's gross. My goal is not to titillate my audience and say, "Oh my God, it's so gross! Look at them, the poor people." I don't want to do that. So I keep it for my own record. But whenever I watch it, I remember how I cried so much on that night because that was the first time I literally went to the garbage and tried to collect. And I would tell Papay, who's my key informant, who's dead now, that I would tell him like, "Oh God, this is stale," and he would say, "It's not stale. It's still okay." I said, "What do you mean? A person bit into this, chewed this, and whatever," and he would say, "No, it's not stale. It's still good." So that moment was documented in a video, so that you could look into how people. What you could do is list down what do you want to observe, given your study. Exactly what do you want to observe? My first and last probably student who did grounded theory. When he approached me, sabi ko sa kanya, tatanggapin kita, kasi may mentoring system po kami dito sa department. Sabi ko, tatanggapin kita, but would you like to gamble with me? Sabi ko, mag-grounded theory ka. Siyempre, hindi niya alam yun. Ano po yun, ma'am? Yun yung parang hindi ka makakagraduate for sure ng on time. Sabi ko, kaya mo gamble? And sabi niya, sige po. Why? You'll understand why I said that when we get to grounded theory. But this boy is so different from all of my assistants. Why? Lahat sila nasa field, nag-interview, nag-ganyan. Siya, nasa paligid, tumitingin-tingin. Mamaya may nyug doon eh. Uupo siya sa ilalim ng nyug, titingin-tingin siya gano'n. Tapos dadaanan ko siya, okay ka pa ba? sabihin niya, yes ma'am, nag-iisip po ako. Ano yung iniisip niya? I'll tell you in a while. There's also focus group discussion. So this is me doing a focus group discussion with older adults. It's a community of older adults in Baseco. Why is focus group discussion important? Because sometimes in interviews, people lie as well. And the best way to triangulate your data from the interviews is through focus group discussion. So, sabi niya, alam mo, nung bata talaga ako, magaling ako sa basketball. Eh, nung focus group discussion, na tinanong mo, sino po magagaling sa basketball? Hindi na nagsasalita. Because sabi niyo po, ay, sabihin, di nga marunong mag-basketball yan eh. Nagkakaalaman sila sinungaling. That's one beauty of focus group discussion. At the same time, focus group discussion allows you to explore an idea as a group. Okay? Nafa-fine-tune yung idea. So, in our tuberculosis study, we've asked a question like, so, ano po yung, sabi niyo po na nalalaman niyo may tuberculosis yung bata kapag umubo na ng dugo. Totoo po ba yun? Oo, kasi ganyan-ganyan. Oo. So, kino-confirm mo. Nako-confirm mo yung idea na lumabas sa interviews. Gaano kalaki ang focus group discussion? It could be from 6 to 25, pero masyadong malaki na yung 25. Ito, marami talaga sila nung nag-attend dun eh. Usually, ang focus group discussion could range from 6 to 12 people para mas controlled mo yung discussion. Now, if you're gonna have a bigger crowd, bring your assistants. Ayun, lahat ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 na bata na nasa likod. Lahat yun, assistants ko. Sila yung nagre-record, sila yung umiikot, sila yung magsasabi, ma'am, may nagtataas ng kamay dito. Kasi focus group discussion is like a class. You're facilitating a discussion of a class. Okay? What kind of data you're gonna have? Again, a transcript, and then field note. Ito yung field note template na ginawa ko at ginamit ko rin sa sarili kong research. Importante kasi na may field note template ka para hindi naman sabog yung pag-field notes mo. Usually kasi, nung classic anthropology, para siyang diary lang na, anong araw na to, nakaramdam ako ng whatever. Para sa akin, nagiging siyang mas laborious. It became so laborious for me because I have to find out from that diary exactly my key points of the day. As opposed to this one. So, I put a date, a time, place, categories. Categories, what do I mean? Categories meaning these are the things that I thought are key concepts in that observation. So, or in that discussion. And then, I would write who are the characters involved para hindi mo na babasahin yung buong diary, malaman mo na sino yung kausap mo dun sa huli. Sasabihin mo, sa harap pa lang kita mo na, characters involved, Tisha, Edlin, Carol. You say, okay, ito yun, ito yung mga kailangan kong discussions. Maganda rin siya for filing, para kung gusto mo hanapin lahat ng field notes mo relating to one person, isang search mo lang, lalabas na kagad yun. MaxKiD gagamitin natin for that. Observation, you're gonna list how you felt, how things smelled, how did the sense of touch, sense of everything. Ano to? Lahat ng senses mo in action. Analysis. So given all of these things that you've seen, you've felt, you've witnessed, what is your analysis? So magkakaroon ka ng preliminary analysis. Ito po yung tinatawag nating preliminary codes. Okay? So, nagbibigay ka na ng preliminary codes mo. And then, reflection. Why did I put reflection there? Ayoko kasi yung idea, na extreme idea that anthropologists are so objective that they do not put themselves in the field. That's not true. We are there in the field. This is our observation. So, we might as well be honest about it. So, after you've written your analysis, what the reflection on yourself, how did you respond to that event? And why were you responding like that? So it's a look in the mirror scenario for me. So, how do we do this? Visual representation. Okay. May isa kami paper na palabas. It's on children and flooding. Ito ginagamit rin namin ito ngayon sa ethnography namin with children, pediatric, on pediatric tuberculosis. Kasi children don't want to talk to you. They don't. What they do is that you ask them, uy, kwento mo nga sa akin. Di ba? What you would do is that high pitch mo yung boses mo. Parang, uy, nene, kamusta ka naman? Gusto mo maglaro? Hindi uso na yun sa mga bata. Lalo na for children who have been subjected to a lot of difficulties in life. Their tendency is to shut down. And so if they shut down, there's no way for you to actually let them tell their story. Swerte ka kung may nagkwento sa'yo ng story ng buhay niya. But most of the time, children don't talk. So, there are so many strategies to that. One strategy that a colleague of mine taught me is, pahiram mo yung recorder, tapos umalis ka. Sabi ko, what? Ayoko nga. Recorder ko yun eh. Sabi niya, kasi they are excited to do it on their own. So, bigyan mo ng recorder daw, sabihin mo, oh, basta mag-record ka dyan, kwento mo. Kwento mo lang kung ano gusto mong ikwento. Wala talagang agenda. So, i-record niya. Hello, hello. Oh my God, I've tried one of these, nakakabaliw. Mga 30 minutes, hello, hello, hello. Sabi ko, hindi ko ta-transcribe kung hello, hello na to ah. So, hello, hihi, hello. Sabi ko, oh my God, I don't wanna do this. Kaso lang sa dulo, biglang tumahimik. Tapos, a few more minutes, tahimik ah. Wala, nagre-record lang. Sabi ko, tatsyagain ko ba ito? But anyway, after a few more minutes, mga 4 or 5 minutes, may nagsalita na siya, sabi niya, yung tatay ko bastos. And then, kunento na niya yung abuse. Who is this kid? A 7-year-old kid who became a cartoon girl. Who was rescued. And sabi ko doon sa kulit ko, ang galing ng idea mo! Hindi kasi nag-effect sa akin, huy, merienda muna tayo. Wala, hindi nag-effect. Kahit anong pang-merienda kung palabok, kung halo-halo, walang nangyari. But then again, in some cases, that doesn't work. This one could work. This is what we're doing in the field. This one, you let the kids draw how they see a particular concept. Sa field namin, we ask them, anong itsura ng batang malusog as opposed sa anong itsura ng batang nagkasakit? What's interesting is, anong findings natin, Edlin, so far?
Pag malusog, may puno silang dinodrawing kasi nasa labas sila. Tapos pag may sakit, nasa loob ng bahay.
Pareho yung itsura ng bata, hindi nagbago, hindi pumayat, hindi gano'n ng uluntoy, walang gano'n. Pareho yung itsura, nagkaiba ng surrounding. Apparently, being sick means being confined at home. And when you ask the caregiver, bakit sila nakakulong? Hindi dahil sa nanghihina yung bata dahil nasa-stigmatize yung ibang bata. Yung ibang namin parang, huy, may TV yan, huwag mo lalapitan. Kahit alam mo na hindi nakakahawin TV, bata to bata. Pero may ganung stigma. So, what's interesting is that we found that out through this drawing. This is a drawing from our paper on baha. We asked them, anong itsura ng baseko pag may baha? So, yan daw siya, tapos may tubig, naglalaro siya sa tubig. Pinapa-explain niya na, hindi lang basta drawing siya, tapos sabi mo, ang feeling ko sa drawing na, hindi to heart, okay? So, ginagawa, pagka-drawing ng bata, papa-explain mo. Tama ba ako yun ang ginagawa nating process? Si Edwin kasi yung manager namin ng pediatric tuberculosis. So, i-explain ng bata, kay drawing ko to kasi ganyan, ganyan. So, ito, sinabi namin, sabi ko, oh, ba't nasa baha ka? Ba't kulay-pula yung baha? Sabi niya, kasi yung baha, iba't ibang kulay niyan. Sabi ko, okay, gets ko na yun, may basura. Pansin niyo, may basura yung baha. Tapos, sabi niya, yung mga green daw na yan ay isda. Kasi may mga isda talaga pag bumabaha yung Baseco. Galing yun sa Pasig River, mga gano'n. Tapos ako, ba't nasa labas ka? Hindi ka natakot? Hindi yan, lumalangoy na kami sa bahay. Data. Nung tinanong mo sila, uy, pag bumabaha ba, anong ginagawa niyo? Yun ang sagot. Pero pag pinadrawing mo, may point of conversation. Ethnography. Whew! Okay pa ba ako? Hindi ko tanongin kung okay lang kayo, nakaupo lang kayo. So anyway, ethnography. These are some concepts that we have. Ethnography, ethnographic present, ethnology. May dalawa tayong anthropology students dito. Habang umiinom ako, paka-explain nga ano difference ng ethnography sa ethnology. Kakahiya naman sa edukasyon nyo, ha? Oh, binasa! Ba't gano'n? Attend sila. Nag-ethnography ba kayo?
Yes.
Okay. Ano bang ginagawa sa ethnography?
Basically, narrating po yung experiences ng isang group ng tao. So, an ethnic group. So, basically describing something in depth.
In some readings, it's called taking a slice of the present. Because ethnography is never, can never be compared. What do I mean by that? So, for example, Mary Racelis did fieldwork in Baseco. And when we compare notes, siya po yung aking critique sa dissertation ko. Sabi niya, this is not the Baseco I know. Sabi niya, Baseco is this and this and that. And Mary Racelis is like one of the biggest names in anthropology. Sabi ko sa kanya, but this is also the Baseco I know. And then we compared, number 1, anong taon ba nag-fieldwork si ma'am? 19 kopong-kopong. Number 2, hindi, active pa rin si ma'am doon, but the point is, yung kilala niya ng mga tao, iba na. Number 2, saan part ba ng Baseco siya? Right? Hindi naman niya kinover buong Baseco. So, ang kinover niya, yung sa may kalsada. Right? Ang kinover ko, yung sa walang daan at walang mga toilets. So sabi ko, ibang-iba yung Baseco. Sabi niya nga, after niya basahin dissertation, sabi niya, Baseco is so different. The Baseco you know is so different from the Baseco I know. Is she saying that my narration is wrong? No. We both understand that ethnography is a slice of a present. It's not even the total pie of the present because you can never really represent the totality of reality of one group of people. You get only a slice of their reality. And that present is different from the present that another another ethnographer would do in the field. So, kung ano man na-figure out namin sa pediatric tuberculosis namin sa Baseco, Bagong Silang, at sa, saan pa? Payatas, hindi yan magiging totoo. Let's say, 10 years from now. Hindi yan ang totoo. 5 years from now, maybe not even true. 1 year from now, maybe not even true. Why? Because the dynamics of culture is at play. Alright? So, ethnography is the study of one culture. Ethnology is the comparison of several cultures. Yung sinasabi kanina ni Don, that's called, hindi naman ethnography sinasabi niya. Sinasabi niya lang, studying two groups of people. Pag nag-ethnography ka, that's called ethnology. So we're talking, the slice of reality, that's what I call the ethnographic present. Okay? Kaya dito mayabang ang mga kwanti. Kasi sabi nila, tapos, napag-aralan mo, yan ang issue nila. Tapos, sabi mo, yun ang dapat yung gawin sa lugar na to. Paano yan? Meron kaming 6 billion na panggamot para tunawin ang tuberculosis sa buong mundo. Sabi namin, basta sa lugar na to, ito yung gagawin mo for tuberculosis. Paano yung iba? Sabi namin sa'yo, aralin din natin. Wala tayong panahon. Ayan, mag-survey na lang tayo para mabilis, di ba? At meron tayong kukompute, tapos mapoproject na natin. Sabi natin, ito ang gawin ng project. That's the beauty of Quanti naman. It can project for a long-term issue. Sa amin, long-term issue din. Na may iyakan level na dahil sobrang lalim ng issue, right? But only good for that particular